Hey guys, I'm back. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I'm Samantha and I'm a therapist, and I'm creating a video every day for a year. This is video 225. Hope you're doing amazing. I wanted to share something from a group that I'm a part of. It's Joseph Jansen. He's a fellow teacher of manifestation and Neville Goddard and all that fun stuff. So um, I'm in his school group, and I just wanted to share this because this really hit me today, and thought we'd talk about it. So he says, "You are who it is that you desire to be." This statement can seem very strange to the mind as it can become confused. It judges based upon appearances, and appearances suggest that you aren't or don't have it. Why, in fact, you do. The desire comes from consciousness and is filled in consciousness. It is a simple surrender that to desire is to have. There is no reason, it simply is this way. We don't earn it, work for it, effort for it, make it happen, as doing so implies we aren't it. As Neville Goddard says, forcing causes failure. So you have a desire, SP, money, both, etc. You desire it because it is you. It's the way you love being. Relax into it and accept it. Stop telling yourself something needs to happen first. You need to do this or that first. It is untrue. Allow your SP to be with you. Allow yourself to be rich. Allow yourself to surrender for no reason, simply because you decided or remembered who you are. Relax. It is all yours now. I thought that was amazing. So you already are who it is that you desire to be. You already are that. And I think we try to force things too much. We try to use all these different techniques, and when really we already are what we desire, we wouldn't be even wanting something if we weren't already it. If we think about it that way, it's the forcing that makes things painful. And I've been there. I know what that feels like. Pain is not fun, is it? Pain, it's growth, but we don't have to have so much pain in order to get what we're wanting to have. And we don't have to feel pain in order to learn how to feel good. But somehow we think we do, and we stay stuck in our prisons of our minds, and we don't have to stay there. It can just be a quick thing if we want it to be. We can break out of that prison whenever we want to. So we've got to stop forcing and allow it. Just like he says, allow your SP to be with you. Allow yourself to be rich. Allow yourself to surrender for no reason, simply because you decided or remembered who you are. There's no trying. Simple surrender. We don't earn it, work for it, effort for it, make it happen, as doing so implies we aren't it. So we've got to remember we already are what we're wanting. And if we're in a state like trying, efforting, trying to force things, we're not in the state of having it. So we would be thinking different thoughts, right? If we didn't have something, we'd be like, oh, I really want that thing. But if we had it already and we already were it, we wouldn't be thinking those same thoughts. So that's kind of that self one, self two, the old man and the new man that Neville talks about. So I've experienced this lately in my own life. I've been highly triggered lately the past couple of days with a couple of things going on in life. And I've had to come back to just the basics. It's remembering you already are what you desire, and there's no forcing. And we get so stuck in our heads about situations, and we forget that this is all a simulation, and we get to decide how we feel. But also I want to preface this, that be very gentle with yourself. We know all these things that we know about manifesting, and we know Neville, and we know all these things, right? We know them, but sometimes we forget, and it's okay if you forget. Just push through it. Let it guide you. Let the pain guide you. I was feeling a little bit of pain, and I'm like, man, this is like, I can feel this. And I told myself, I said, you know what? There's something inside of me that's ready to feel this now. Maybe I wasn't ready to feel it a week ago or 2 weeks ago, like during Christmas time. Maybe I didn't want to feel it back then. Maybe I'm ready to feel it now. Maybe this is the time. So I let the pain kind of guide me. And I ask the pain why it's there. What are you teaching me? Then you ask for guidance if you need to from your guides, your angels, people that have passed on, whoever. Ask for guidance and just go with your own flow. Like, you are the flow. There's no flow to go with necessarily except you. You are the flow. You are the path. You are the journey. Everything that we're trying to get to is actually the most important part of it is the journey to get there. It's not the actual getting there, because as I've said before, there is no there. There is right now. All we have is right now. And that's all we need to focus on is right now. So if we just bring it back to the very simple, come back to the now and only focus on that. Like, how do I feel right now? And how do I want to feel? How do I prefer to feel right now? And start there and say, my only job is to feel good. So what can I start thinking about that feels a little bit better than this thought I'm having? A lot of times we're spiraling. And if you're in a spiral, be gentle with yourself. Say, I know what I know. I know this stuff. I remember what Sam is talking about in her videos every day. But I forgot today. That's okay. Even I forget sometimes. I forget what I know. And it just challenges you to keep learning, keep growing. We're human beings. We're having this experience. And so I have to remind myself too sometimes, I'm having an experience. What do I want to actually experience? What am I learning from this? Because if something is super painful for you, it's showing you something. It's definitely showing you something. For me, it's probably I've ignored something too long. I mean, it does not matter how much you know in life and all these things and how many books you read and everything and how much you embody and all of that stuff that we talk about. You will have triggers sometimes that come along. You're going to have things in life that happen because that's life, but they don't have to take you down. They don't have to define who you are or anything. We make a big deal out of seemingly nothing. If we just tell ourselves, this isn't a big deal. I'm making it a big deal right now, but that's okay. It's okay. I don't have to stay here forever. You just kind of talk yourself out of it. Just pull yourself out of this hole you're in. You don't have to claw your way out. You can just say, I'm going to gently jump out of this. I'm going to just jump out of this and onto dry land. And we don't have to worry about all this. We don't have to worry so much. Just tell yourself that. I don't have to worry as much as I'm worrying. Sometimes we feel like we have to worry because our brain needs to be doing something. We feel like it can't just slow down and feel the moment. I think too that a lot of times we don't feel enough, and so we're suppressing our emotions and we're not paying attention to what we're feeling in our bodies, and that's what causes a lot of our mental pain too. So I just love talking about helping people get out of their mental prisons and their mental pain that they're in, because it's so practiced, and we can practice something different every time. And just remember, your thoughts and your beliefs have been programmed, and you can reprogram them at any time that you choose. And sometimes we have to be reminded of that, and we literally have to say, now wait a minute, this thought is a program. This belief is a program. I just thought this thought so many times that now I believe it. And so do I like believing this? Maybe you ask yourself about your beliefs. Do I like believing this? Do I enjoy it? Does it feel good? Does it feel bad? If it feels bad, then maybe we can change that. Maybe it's the time to do that. But only you can decide what's right for you. And back to Joseph's post in this group, we judge based on appearances. And we don't have to do that. We've got to stay true to our vision. What do you want? And sometimes we don't even know what we want. So I just say, how do you want to feel? What way would you want to feel? If you could pick any emotion that you want to feel, what would it be? And if you could stay there forever, what would it be? How would that feel if you were in that state for a long time? How would that feel? And you'll find that when you kind of pinpoint an emotion that you want to feel, then you could start kind of designing your life around that. Well, say you want freedom. Well, where do I have freedom already? Okay, and then you pick those things out and maybe write them down. And then where am I lacking freedom? You write that down. And then you can kind of piece out, hey, where might I need a change? because only you are going to know where you need to change things. And techniques, like I said in this post, like Joseph said in this post, we don't need techniques of any kind. There are thousands of techniques, but as Bashar calls them, they're permission slips to be more of yourself. So if you remember that all you need to do is be yourself. And a lot of people, I think, we don't know who our self even is. Who am I? Who is self? And if you just stick with the feeling, what do I want to feel? And who am I being right now? Maybe it doesn't matter so much the bigger things yet. Just who am I being right now? What state am I in right now? What emotion am I feeling? Where do I feel it in my body? And we start there. And as Bashar says, you follow your highest excitement and your passion as much as you can until you can't anymore, with no insistence on the outcome. Just no insistence on an outcome. So if you've got a list of things to do, pick one thing that looks just a little bit better than maybe something else that feels the best. Yeah, I ran some errands today and I was like, I feel like running about 3 more. Normally I'm like, I got to get back home and hurry and get things done. And today I was like, no, I feel kind of like being outside a little bit. So I was outside for like an hour longer running a few more errands that I was going to run on Thursday. So, and I just said, I'm just going to go with this and see what happens. And it just made me feel better. I don't know. So you just follow yourself. Yourself knows what yourself needs. No one else can tell you what you need. They can give you suggestions. They can give you techniques. There's books. There's all these things out there. But if we keep it very simple and remember that we are just consciousness experiencing itself, we do not need to make a big deal out of all this. We need to be having fun. We need to be gentle with ourselves. We need to guide ourselves out of the doldrums when we're in the doldrums. And I'll link Abraham Hicks's updated emotional guidance scale that I've mentioned a few times in the videos in the past. And that guidance scale is so helpful to know where you are, because some people can't identify even where they're at on a scale or an emotion in general. So that scale can help you do that. And then you kind of just figure out where you're at and you talk yourself up that scale. And I find that to be very useful in my therapy sessions too, because if you can pull yourself up, you're literally like changing your whole frequency. Your whole vibration is shifting very, very quickly. And it works very well. It's a great tool to use. But again, we don't need any techniques to do this. It's just, I find these things helpful for certain times in life. Maybe it'll help you too. But there's so many things we can do. But get out in nature. If all else fails, get out in nature. Stand in the sun for like 5 minutes if you have 5 minutes. Make 5 minutes. Just stand in the sunlight. Let it hit your face. Close your eyes, of course. Or sometimes we need the sun in our eyes for a little bit of time. So you might need to keep them open a little bit, as much as you can. But yeah, I think Joseph's post, I just really thought that was a really good one. A simple surrender. The desire is already yours. You already are it. You don't need to effort. You don't need to worry. We just worry so much. We don't have to do that. We're almost torturing ourselves. Stop torturing yourself. I'm practicing it too, I promise you. Every time I talk about this, it's reinforcing it in my mind as well, because we forget sometimes. We have things that happen in life and it's just, they're devastating at times. But here's one more thing I will say. Everything that happens in life is neutral. We give it meaning. So it's neither good or bad. It's whatever meaning we assign to it. So I just said it's devastating. Well, I gave that meaning to it. Well, where does that come from? That comes from a belief and blah, blah, blah. We just trace it back because there's always a belief there. Everything you say out of your mouth is a spell. So watch your words. Watch everything. Watch yourself. Watch how you're being, who you're being, how you're feeling, what emotions are coming up in your body. Get to know you this year. This should be the resolution that we have forever. This is like our forever work, is knowing who we are. And remember, you're already it. You've already got it. I used to have in my calendar, it used to say, you already have it. You already are it, just as a reminder. And then, of course, I've got the classic thank you to remind me in my calendar every day. It just says thank you with stars on each side, just to remind me. Got to say thank you to everything inside of us and outside of us. And when you're in the energy of thankfulness and appreciation and gratitude, everything will shift inside of you and outside of you. Just watch what happens. So just remember, you already are it. You already have it. You don't have to force anything. We just have to gently guide ourselves into a different frequency so we can perceive something from a different perspective. Because if you're not the frequency of something, you can't perceive it. Just like Einstein said, you can't create a solution from the same mind that created the problem. He was basically saying what I just said. You got to change your frequency, change your vibration. And we can easily do that with that guidance scale. I think that it's really helpful. That's just one technique, but there's so many techniques you can use. And there's an updated children's scale that goes along with that too. Again, I got those from Abraham Hicks, one of their workshops back in 2020. I just took notes and updated it. So I will link below. There goes my light. I lost the light. No more light. Well, thank you guys so much for being here with me. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you. You are so loved. Pass that on to somebody who needs to hear it. And remember to appreciate yourself, because what you appreciate appreciates. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.